Sadly, I have some tragic news that I have to share, and it has to do with self-driving cars. Usually in the tech world, bridging the gap between two different technologies isn't that hard. For example, the headphone jack to a wireless future where we're still not yet, all you have to use is an adapter or other type of headphones. For us to get to a bezel-less screen, we have to go from bezels to non-bezels, and in between that, we're gonna have these notches, and we're still gonna have these slim bezels until we can put the camera into the screen or find out what to do with the camera, because until then, we're gonna have a notch and we're gonna have other slim bezels. But it's a completely different story with driving, going from manual driving with a person behind the wheel to a completely software-based driving, going autonomous driving. That's a completely different bridge right there that is dangerous. For years, with this whole potential of autonomous driving, people have been talking about the risk, about what can a car do to save a person. Let's say it's in a different situation where it's gonna have to kill someone because of the situation it's in. Is it gonna kill the driver next to it with the car that's gonna slam into it? Is it gonna kill the pedestrian? In some situations, there's this random situation that a car is going to have to kill a pedestrian. And what is the software gonna be to make the car choose to kill someone? This is about a moral question in society. Who are we gonna kill? I know this is a crazy question to think about, but this is what's gonna happen with autonomous cars. Just imagine it's in a situation where it's gonna have to kill someone. Sadly, I know it's a terrible thought, but still, I mean, it's in a situation where it's gonna have to kill someone either way, whether it be the driver next to it driving or a pedestrian crossing the street. Somehow, some way, it's gonna turn into a situation where it's gonna have to kill someone. And autonomous, someone's gonna have to program that for it to kill someone. Luckily, the chances of that happening are very slim, but still, it can happen, and other deaths can still happen. Manual driving is still one of the most dangerous things you could do on a daily basis. I know you don't think it, but when you're driving, you could practically die in seconds. I don't want to sound pessimistic about it, but driving is very dangerous, and with autonomous driving, it should be safer. At least, I mean, it should be safer. Us humans, we are so distracted in our daily life. We have so many other things going on. We have texts coming in, and we're just so connected to our smartphone, to our music, whether or not people get distracted while driving, making it completely dangerous. So the thought is to allow the car to drive, which is not distracted by all the sensors and all the cameras working to make it go straight and with safety. But the problem that we have right now is that the software isn't perfect working with the hardware. The hardware is there. The hardware is for sure there, but the software isn't catching up to the hardware. And when the software comes up to the hardware, we're going to have autopilot perfect from your house to your destination, wherever you want to go, not just on the highway. But for right now, software isn't catching up to the hardware, so there are going to be mistakes until we get to that autonomous future. And sadly, Uber has made the very, very devastating first mistake in actually killing a pedestrian. Yes, a person died from autonomous driving. Just a couple days ago, Sunday night in Tempe, Arizona, hopefully I said that right, there was the first ever in the world history, and I'm sure sadly there is going to be more until we get to the autonomous future. Just a few days ago in Tempe, Arizona, the first fatality from an autonomous car, and sadly this was due to Uber testing its autonomous driving. Sunday at 10 o'clock at night, Uber was testing its autonomous driving with a Volvo SUV, and that's when a 49-year-old Elaine Herzberg, hopefully I said that right, was walking her bike across the street. According to the driver, who wasn't actually driving, was just sitting behind the wheel making sure everything's fine, just saw the bicycle and her come out as a flash, and as soon as that happened, the car made a signal noise as an obstacle, and just like that, there was the first ever sad fatality. There are two main reasons why this could have even happened. Even though the software isn't even 100% yet, I would say it's about 90%, 70%, around there in that range to almost getting to full autonomous driving. It's almost there. But for one, this happened at 10 p.m. So maybe the cameras and the sensors didn't really detect that well of the different colors in between the sidewalk and the person to see the pedestrian that fast. And the second reason, the car was going at 40 miles per hour. So maybe it didn't have enough time to quickly stop in front of the pedestrian because the pedestrian quickly jolted out at the car. Those two reasons are possibly the two reasons why this crash might have happened. At first, it was at 10 o'clock, and second, the pedestrian might have jolted out as a car at 40 miles per hour when the car was just rolling around, and it would have had to stop immediately. For the time being, my heart goes out to the family of the pedestrian who died. This is just, this is crazy. Dying to a car that is driving itself. We are for sure in the future, and it's going to be a risky one. Are we going to make it there with even less fatalities than expected? Hopefully. But with the fatal Uber crash, Uber has completely taken off all their autonomous cars while they're investigating this problem off of Arizona, Pittsburgh, Toronto, and other cities. They've completely taken off their autonomous cars for the time being, because we still need to progress, because an autonomous car is still theoretically safer than a manual driven car by a human who might just be distracted. I'd love to hear your opinion about the future of self-driving cars in the comment section below. And while you're doing that, make sure you like the video and hit that bell icon to stay notified whenever I post a video. And while you're doing those two things, make sure you smash that subscribe button right here to stay informed, and I'll see you in the next one.